Uh, 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 Sono state di che, no? 81. Bam, bam. Bam, bam. I got seeds falling down. Fall into the yeah. Got some custards with the. Not really bad. Well. I guess so. Mm, 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 mm. Yeah. Mm, 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 mm. I wish I could share my music. Mm, 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 mm. Just gonna play my ukulele. Mm, 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 mm. That's where my All right, so let's round this one up. 20 minutes. 20 minutes. 20 minutes is up. This was fun. Let's move on to the next one. Let's see what you did there. This was fun. Let's move on to the next one. Mm, 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 mm. Yes. Sketch is taking longer than I expected. It's I don't mind because the sketch is usually the hardest part. If you can get your sketch right, it's the hardest part for me. So let's move this too. Gonna move that hand closer. Okay. Yes. Let's color this thing. Oh, Wilson Junior, thank you for joining from Brazil. Sorry, I was so carried away. Like I was just focused on the work. Mark Henry, yeah, it's Mark Henry. Hey, I watch Marvel Wakanda show. It's awesome, really nice character. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching and thank you for the kind words. I Working on Eyes of Wakanda, that's like my proudest work so far. So I'm really excited that it didn't get to be cancelled because the other show I worked on at Netflix was cancelled. So yeah, but thank you so much for your comments. Hello, definitely in the zone, listening to music. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear the music I'm listening to, but it's really awesome and yeah, I just got carried away. So, but don't worry, you can just leave your comments. I'll definitely check it out. I also was struggling at first with this Mark Henry guy, so I wanted to be like I really wanted to zero in on the design and make sure that it comes out looking good. So I kind of got carried away. Well, thank you. Mm, I'm currently listening to Janelle Monae's Janelle Monae's Arc Android album, Arc Android album, and the music is like it's really getting me in the zone. It's really good. That's to me, I think that's her best album to me, and it's one of my favorite albums I like to listen to as well. I like Janelle Monae, the old Janelle Monae, not the new one, but yeah. I usually like to paint the face last. I don't know why. I just got carried away with this one. I like to I like to paint the face last. Man, I saw your video telling that your computer crashed in the middle of character production. Man, I'm really listening. Yeah. Wondering what got cancelled at Netflix. Understand if you can't share. So a show was cancelled. I worked on a show back in 2021. Yes, 2021 at Netflix. It was actually announced, so I think I might be able to share. But I have to be kind of careful with that. So, it was a show related to, you know what, let me not give too much. Let me give hints. So you guys can just kind of Google it and maybe figure it out. The show was about Haiti. It was set in Haiti. The story world was set in Haiti, and it was produced by one of the most popular Haitian musicians, Haitian artists. So I think that's all I can give. Maybe you guys will be able to figure it out. It's a very popular Haitian artist. He was really famous in the early 2000s. Yeah, that was the show, and I felt really bad. I didn't do like major work on the show. I did freelance for them, and I was hired to do mostly crowd characters. But it would have been nice to have that under my bag as an extra credit, but it got cancelled. So yeah, it happens in the industry, but and it was a very, I'm grateful that God directed me to make the right choice because at that point I was meant to choose between Marvel and Netflix, and Netflix was willing to pay more, but somehow I just decided to stick with Marvel, and it paid off. So I'm grateful that I'm grateful that I took, you know, I made the right choice, you know. And I feel bad for because I have colleagues that's also worked on that show and it was cancelled and I just feel really bad for them because one of them in particular, he that's like his that would have been like his only major credits, and it's just really gut wrenching that it didn't work out the way it was meant to pan out. I think he worked on that project for over 3 years or about 3 years, and then one day it just got cancelled. Really sad. Yeah. I watch wrestling a lot. I don't know if you guys watch wrestling. I still watch wrestling. I know, a lot of people look at wrestling like, yo, this thing is fake. I get it. Yes, it's fake, but I like it because it's the storytelling. You know, I get a lot of ideas for characters from wrestling, from watching wrestling. So I'm still a fan. But funny enough, I'm more of a fan of female wrestling than male wrestling, and the reason why is because the way the men fight each other is just like really ridiculous sometimes. You know, they hit each other like with these weird jabs that, it just looks very obvious that it's acting. Unlike the women, the women get to do like really dangerous stunts now. And yeah, they need to be given their flowers. So I have a lot of respect for female wrestlers, and yeah, I prefer watching female wrestling. Well, wrestling is wrestling nonetheless. I enjoy watching wrestling. I'm thinking this forehead is too. Let's bring it down small. Let's bring it down a little. Yeah, so I think I'm done with the head. Let's just keep moving on because I'm trying to see if I can do um four four characters, four illustrations before I leave today. There was once a time when there used to be it was once believed that Mark Henry was the strongest man on the planet. I don't know how true that was, but as a child watching wrestling then I used to hear it a lot. And Mark Henry was the strongest man on the planet. Well, I saw Mark Henry recently, and he wasn't looking like he was very like he was struggling. He was struggling with his health, and it just was really sad to see. Uh, mm, but I'm very grateful that you guys get to join weekly. I'm really grateful, and it's very encouraging because sometimes when you're just drawing alone, it feels very awkward. So thank you for joining. All right, so let's keep moving. We have to move very, very quickly. Mm, Are you in USA? No, I'm actually in my country, my home country, Nigeria. Um, I've actually never been to the US before, but I believe I will be in the US very soon. Maybe not relocating or something, but yeah, I will visit because all my family is in the US. So eventually, I will visit. Okay. Yeah, nice. I mean, I'm also a little worried about Trump, but I believe that if once I make up my mind to go to the States, I will eventually get there. I don't know if you guys know, I'm actually directing my debut short film. I haven't made any official announcements yet, but it's currently in the works, and I'm writing and directing it. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on, and I believe that when I'm actually aiming, I also actually believe we can win an Oscar. I believe we can win an Oscar. Um, the story, I'm pretty, you know, psyched about the story right now. It's really strong. Like I don't want to, I hope I don't sound like I'm bragging or anything, but I'm really confident in the story, and I think we can actually bag it, bag that award. Um, yeah, it's an IP that I've been working on for many years since the pandemic started working on it. I don't talk much about my directing because I'm kind of waiting for the right time, for these things to pan out. I don't, so I mostly lead with my expertise as a character designer, but in the background, I'm actually a writer and director. But I'm just kind of waiting for the right time to to showcase that and to let everybody know that there's something really big going on. Uh, yeah, I feel like Nigerian stories cannot be told cannot be told very well without Nigerians actually telling it, and we shouldn't wait for the white folks to come and do it for us. So I'm taking the bull by the horn and just doing what I feel needs to be done. And the story is centered around my background as a and I studied engineering, but became an artist. So it's kind of like an homage to that struggle, being an artist at heart, as opposed to being an artist by academics. So don't worry, you guys. I'm sure you're gonna love the story, but it'll take a while for it to get out there. Maybe I don't know. Maybe next year, by the grace of God. We're hoping that we should be done by next year. But yeah, I believe I'll make an announcement, a proper announcement very soon. I like storytelling a lot. Like I don't know if you guys know, but I also storyboard as well. I actually do storyboarding. I wear a lot of hats. I wear a lot of hats because I come from a country where we had to learn all these things the hard way. Um, when a client gives you work to do, you're not waiting for. I mean, you can't. You don't even have the budget to hire an expert, so you just have to. I just had to learn to wear all these hats myself and roll up my sleeves and get stuff done. So yeah, I do storyboarding. I like to write. I like to tell stories, and writing is something that's I've come to I've come to have a very strong appreciation for, especially in a world where a lot of reboots and stuff going on, and there's rarely anything original. And I understand why there's not much original stuff out there. It's the studios don't want to take any risk, and it's fine. But Africa is largely untapped, and somebody has to tell those stories in a way that is, that the world can consume. One of the challenges that we're currently having in Nollywood is that the stories are not palatable for the global audience. So I am, doing my own part to make sure that I kind of break that curse in quotes, so that you know people can also be crazy about African stories the way we are crazy about Spanish stories, Korean stories, and all. And even as a character designer, all this knowledge is still not doesn't go to waste, because if you my characters, I always like to pay attention to stories. So knowledge in writing never goes to waste. I still use it for design, character design. So I think at this point I'm just gonna shut up and work. Mm. I kind of feel like this Mark Henry. Mark Henry is giving he gives Ghanaian vibes. I have a strong feeling that he has Ghanaian a lot of Ghanaian blood in him, or at the very least, West African heritage. He looks very West African. Okay, have to be fast. I have to try and be faster. How did I get the Marvel work? You know, I actually got that job from LinkedIn. So when I say um well, I can't take credit for it because I believe God actually opened that opportunity for me. But the person who hired me was hired me through LinkedIn. She messaged me. She was the producer of the film. sorry, the series. And she reached out to me on LinkedIn. And that's how I met with her and everything. This was like in the very, very early stages of the projects. Yeah, so that's how I got the job. I think she may have seen some of my work on, maybe she followed me for some time and saw the kind of work I was posting, I guess. Yeah, so that's how I got that job. And I'm very, very fortunate to have gotten the opportunity because um, prior to that point, I had no idea that I could work for a company like that. I just was showing up and posting regularly, and one thing led to the other. Mm, this part is looking really funny. Mm, wow. So one of the reasons I decided to start doing this sketchathon is because I draw every day, so I just felt, hey, maybe I can decide to just put a camera and show people what I do and hopefully gather some engagement on my channel. But um I lost my train of thoughts. Uh, what center? I forgot to fill. Yeah, I remember what I wanted to say. So one of the reasons I decided to do the sketchathon is because we live in an age where AI is challenging everybody to think differently, and people are scared of how it can replace artists and all of that. But when I do a sketchathon like this, with a sketchathon like this, I hope that I'm able to make people, start to appreciate the process, as opposed to the results, because it seems like we live in an age where everybody just cares about results. Like how do we just get what we want instantly? So the idea of Sketchathon is to let people see that there actually is, I mean, of course they know that there's a human being behind it, but just to make that more prominent for people to see that, we actually care about the process, and get them to see more of the process than the final work. Let them see the face behind the works that have been created, as opposed to just the final work. It's not like abracadabra and stuff like that. So we need people to start to appreciate the creative process again. And I hope that, with sketchathon like this, that people would start to appreciate the process more than the results, and see that we artists actually, we care about, this is what we care about the most, right? The experience of having to create something out of nothing, you know. So that's why I'm doing this. So maybe people would, because I feel like we artists are actually the ones that would save ourselves, and not the corporations and stuff. I feel like with more of stuff like this, then people can see the face behind the work and appreciate it better rather than just the finished work. And so when they see more of this, they're like, okay, so there's a face behind. These are real people creating this stuff. And that way they can join us, as allies in the fight against these corporations who don't care about the process. They just want to make profits no matter what's like. So yeah, let people see more of our process, let people see more of the creative process, so that they can appreciate our work, or they can appreciate art better. So yeah, I would employ a lot of artists to try to do stuff like this, so that, and whenever you post stuff online, try to show the brain behind it, because that brain is something that the machines will not be able to replace. So, and that's not to say that I'm against technology. I'm not against technology. As a matter of fact, I'm using technology to illustrate right now. So I'm not against technology. I'm just against um unethical use on unethical technology. That's what I'm against. So, or technology that's just going to ruin the human experience, or erase the human experience. And also another thing too I try to do is show my mistakes, because AI tries to perfect things. So if you can show more of mistakes, then you are making you're showing the human side of things. So that's my point. In edit times, see the process. That's very good. Yeah, that's all AI is for, man. It's just to speed up things without caring about process anymore. And a friend of mine said to me that he his own take on AI is that as long as AI is not going to tie the hands of artists to prevent them from creating new stuff. So looking on the bright side, AI or not, I still would continue to create art. So like I said, I'm not against technology. So if they can do the right thing and roll out useful, like roll it out in a way that it's useful for everybody and everybody's happy. And okay, I'm spending too much time on this thing. Let's kind of move faster. Okay, I'm done with the hard parts, so let's just speed up all these parts. Let's see if you can paint this. How much time do I have left? Okay, I think I can do one more after this. You're spot on with your emphasis on the process and not just the results in this AI age. I'm encouraged to do same moving on. Yeah, please try to post your process as you post your as you post online or show your process. And don't be afraid of showing mistakes. Like as a matter of fact, mistakes is actually what makes us humans. So machines will always want to make things perfect. So the mistakes actually what makes. So I don't know if you notice that sometimes I mistakenly I mistakenly move the like this. I mistakenly move the colors out of place. But I actually like it because it shows that I'm a human being. Only a human being can do that. So the more you show, you know, your strength as a human being or your mistakes as a human being, the better it is for us so that people can see and appreciate our humanness as creators. So make those mistakes, make it as imperfect as possible. This is one of the reasons why when I share videos on YouTube, I don't use teleprompters because I feel like when you use a teleprompter, you're not making mistakes. You're just looking into the camera. Like it's very difficult for you to speak directly to the camera without making any mistakes or stammering or anything like that. It's very difficult. I don't think there's any human being that I'm well aware of that can speak directly to the camera without making any mistakes. But when I see people post content and it's so perfect, I'm like, uh, in this age where everything is curated and perfect, you want to lead with imperfection so that people can experience what it means to be human again. That's what I think anyway. I could be wrong, but at least that's what my conviction. That's where my convictions are now. So I'm not trying to perfect anything for anybody. Sometimes when I even do my sketches here, I actually abandon some sketches in the process. Just so you see that even professional artists are not immune from making errors and mistakes. Sometimes we are also unsure of ourselves. So I leave all these things here so that you see that, because that's what makes me human. So this is what I'm saying. This was not the first sketch I did. This was the first sketch I did. See how awful it is? But I don't mind showing it because that's what makes That's what makes me human, and that's what people would appreciate. The AI is not going to show you mistakes. It's just going to show you that you're just going to spit out the final results. So if mistakes is going to make you stand out in this age, then you need to lean in. You need to be lean in that direction and not be afraid. So that's at least that's my conviction for now. Okay, so let's see if I can just do one more sketch. One more sketch, one more sketch. Hopefully this next one will not be so difficult. Oh, this part looks funny. Mm. 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 All right, so let's move on. Let's move on. One more. Oh, sorry, I forgot to give him eyeballs. Let's give him some eyeball. Okay, one more. Let's see if we can do this one quickly. So this one, I'm just going to excuse myself because it might be bad. I need to run this through quickly, like real quick, because there's no time. Mm. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, mm, mm. Yo, this abs is going to give me a lot of problems. I can already see. Okay, I need to create some room. And the question, when you draw, do you think mostly in shapes and silhouettes instead construction? Um, yeah, I think more of shapes. I mean, I think of everything at the same time, but the because it'll be dishonest for me to tell you that I think about only one thing. I actually think about a lot of things. I think of proportions. Um I think of pushing the shapes, exaggeration, personality, anatomy. I think of a lot of things. But the most important, the biggest thing on my mind is usually how to push the shape. So yeah, it's mostly shapes, but I think about a lot of things at the same time. I don't like this face. I really hate this face. I think I'm probably gonna sketch that face again. Yeah, because I feel for me, if my drawing is ugly, I'm not usually motivated to finish. So, but if it's not so ugly, then I can kind of finish it off. Uh-oh. So I'm kind of rushing at the moment because I need to be out at top of the hour. I have another meeting. I have a meeting. So drawing like geometrically like this sometimes helps me to, it forces me to look at only the shapes. I don't know if this is good yet, but I'm probably just going to settle for this one eventually. Yeah, I'm probably just gonna settle for this. This is better than the previous one. Sorry, I need to close my curtain. All right, time to color. And that's my daughter. Segul, I'm in a meeting. Segul, I'm in a meeting. Don't break the door. Yeah, I mean, some people draw with lots of construction lines, doing some geometric shapes. The drawing have the construction, but I saw strong silhouette and pushing shapes is really nice. Thank you. Yeah, so I don't do a lot of construction. Everything is in my head, so I just construct everything in my head. And I also like to use minimum line economy. Like I don't like to use too much lines. Minimum lines helps me to it forces me to make decisions quickly. Because if there's too many construction lines, then it becomes messy, and yeah, I don't like messy. When your work becomes messy like that, it kind of shows that you don't have confidence. So I've, kind of forced myself over the years to become and train myself to draw to what was I talking? I'm sorry, I'm losing my train of thought because I'm also working at the same time. So I've kind of forced myself to simplify shapes, lines, to make the lines as simple as possible. Minimal line economy. Then also I learned a lot from Michael Matezi. If you don't know Michael Matezi, please check that guy out. He's really awesome, and I learned a lot from him about how to use line, how to How to Draw Dynamically. His book on force force anatomy or something like that. Human anatomy. Force human anatomy. Michael Matesi. If you check Pinterest, if you're interested, you can find that on Pinterest. Sorry, on Amazon. Sorry, my brain is just going off in different directions because I'm trying to finish as quickly. I don't think I'll be able to finish this one, but let's see how far we can go. You're doing God's work, brother. Thanks, Rashid. Thank you. Thanks. Mm, yes, that's the book. Force Anatomy, Human Anatomy, Michael Matesi. Yes, that's the book. That book. See, I'm not even trying to hype, but that's the best book on. That's the book that changed my life. It changed my life about seeing drawings, like how to draw. Before I was really struggling. Like it's not like I was struggling, but I was not very sure about what I was doing. I was just using mostly my like I didn't understand that there was a science behind it. I was just mostly using to my senses to figure it out. But after reading that book, I was like, what? So there's actually a formula, there's actually like a way to really crack, like there's a hack to drawing. I didn't know there was a hack. I just thought it was based on your gifts and practice and yeah, I thought it was luck. Like you'd stumble on, depending on how lucky you are, a particular day your drawing will look really good. Like I didn't know there were actually things responsible for making a drawing come to life. So when I read, and the funny thing is that the secrets that I picked up from that book was not, it was in the first two, three chapters. Like I didn't have to read the whole book to figure it out. I read the book eventually, but I didn't have to read the whole book. The secret is actually in chapter, I think between chapter 1 and 4, you find the secrets. So once you see that thing, man, it will change your drawing for like your sense of drawing forever. At least it changed mine. So if you haven't seen that book, please check it out. This is not a paid promotion. I don't know Michael Mate, like he doesn't know me. We don't know, we've not met each other before, but I'll recommend that book any day, anytime, any day to artists. I'm just kind of running all these things quickly because There's no time. I'm just trying to be as quick as possible. Um, Please join me every week. I do this every week. Every Friday, same 5 p.m. Watts West African time, 9 a.m. Pacific time, and then 12, yeah, 12 p.m. Eastern time. How do you go about studying books to improve? Yeah, I think yeah, that's a good idea. I'll make a video on books. Like, yeah, I think I should. Hope I don't forget. Let me quickly take down that notes. Hold on. So I just want to quickly write the suggestion down so I don't forget. A video about book recommendation. Okay. Book recommendation for artists. Okay. Thank you for that suggestion. Michael Matezi has strong design in his drawings. I didn't know Matezi work. I'll put as reference. Yes, Michael Matezi's work is very good. He has trained a lot of people from, like, in studios, Pixar, in popular studios, Pixar, Disney, and the likes. He's a very good artist. I don't even know how I found that book, but I'm glad I did because that book saved my life. Okay, let's move. Let's move. I'll try to finish this one. It might spill into an extra 20 minutes, but I'll try to finish it. Mm, 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 mm. So, by the way, I actually have a course that is currently active for enrollment. If you guys want to enroll for the course, it's on Gumroad. I left the link in the in the chat. If it's something that you like to give a shot, that would be awesome. But that's not the purpose of this. This is just to. I just thought I should put it out there, but that's not why I'm doing the videos. That's not why I'm doing the live anyway. Mm, mm. Okay. Okay. Let's keep moving. I don't want to spend too much time on these apps. Let's keep moving, keep moving. If you haven't tried it before, please try to paint with hard brush, with a hard brush. It's fun. It's hard, but it's fun. Yeah, uh-oh. This one is moving real fast. It's time. Side's not dark enough. This summer. I can be. Yeah. Speed this up, speed this up. Yes. Aksa Alatsum Atsumus. This is a natural opera. This is a song. Oh, this very famous. Okay, so all right, so her face last. Uh, okay, face. Check. It's okay. The silence. Yes, definitely someone. Guys, I'm almost done. Thank you for hanging in there. Well, there's a reason why this is called Sketchathon anyway. It's supposed to be like a sketch marathon, so yeah. Thank you for hanging in there. Thanks. God is able. Thank you. Hi, Dan. Dan the man. If you're just joining in, you probably missed a lot, but I don't delete the videos, so you can always go back and check. Got you on my side. Oops. Mm. Uh-oh. No, 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 not working. Mm. 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 Guys, thank you so much for hanging in there. It's very encouraging to know that at least people are watching this stuff I'm doing. So thank you so much. Mm. 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 Thank you for sharing. You're welcome, Wilson. Best regards from Brazil. I'm going out. Nice time. Nice to see you, Joe. Thank you so much, Wilson. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Have a nice day. Have a nice weekend ahead. Yeah. Take care, man. Take care. I think there was something weird about the line arts. Mm. Yeah, so I'm finally about to check out. I'm happy with where I'm leaving this today. At least I was able to do three illustrations, three sketches. Mhm, mhm. Her eyes. Guys, thank you so much for joining this week. So, in the next minute or two, I'll be shutting down. I'll be done, and I'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much for joining. So, this is all the work I was able to cover. This is all the ground I was able to cover today. I'll see you guys same time next week, 5 p.m. West African time, 9 a.m. Pacific time, and 12 p.m. East Central time. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend ahead. Take care.